What's up, FloFootball fans? I'm Nicole Beckelman, and today I'll be talking to the head coach of Villanova, Coach Ferrante. Coach, you've been with this program for 37 years. What is the main reason that you've stayed for so long?
Yeah, no, this has just been a great place to be, a great family place. It worked out really well. I've actually was here 29 years as an assistant coach before becoming the head coach. And it's just been a great environment. I didn't know if I'd be here this long when I first got here, but each year, you might think that's the year you may move on and go somewhere else. But it just worked out that every time we had an opportunity to maybe make a change, in discussion with my wife Georgia and everybody, we decided that this was the best place to be, and we just stayed put. So, and then fortunately enough, I was able to follow Coach Talley and become the head coach after the 2016 season, and my first year as head coach was 2017. And it's gone well since. So everything just worked out. It's just a great place to be. I really love what I do. I love where I do it, the people I do it with. So why change?
Exactly. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
There you go. There you go.
What's your favorite part about being head coach at Villanova?
Oh, favorite part about being head coach? Shoot, I guess um, I'll answer it a different way, I guess, if you don't mind. The hardest thing about becoming a head coach is not being able to have the same interpersonal relationships with when you have a positional group that you're more in charge of. It's hard to have such great relationships when you're in charge of 90 as opposed to being in charge of 15, or whatever your position is and whatever number you have there. But I just love coaching football. I love the interaction you have with the players on the team, obviously, the relationships you have with the remaining guys on staff, and so on. So, like I said, I just love the fact that I'm involved with football. I love coaching football, love working with the players. And that's kind of been my style as a head coach. I let the coaches do their job, and I just try to do all the behind the scenes things and give them the resources to be successful. And I love when we bring in guys that are 17, 18 years old and come in here as, high school boys, if you will. And when we get them graduated, hopefully they're going in the right direction and better young men for it. So just love being here and having the relationships with the guys on the team.
Watching your players continue to play football after they leave your program, how proud does that make you?
It's great. It's great. Obviously, they put in the work. And like I said, when we bring guys in as freshmen and their parents trust us to hand them over to us to continue to develop them, not only athletically, but also academically, and hopefully a lot of other ways as well, for them to have the opportunity to go on and play beyond here. To us, that's kind of the cherry on the top. We hope they leave here with a very meaningful degree so they can go out and become great husbands and fathers and leaders in their communities wherever they end up going. But to have guys be able to play beyond here, that just obviously speaks great for their work ethic and their talent level and everything that they put in, and also for the way we were able to develop them while they were here with us in our program. So hats off to our staff and our strength staff and everybody that's been able to get those guys going in that direction. But more importantly, hats off to them for putting in the work and having the opportunity and take advantage of the opportunity once they get it.
I'm sure a big topic in your office right now is the transfer portal. What is your method to navigating the craziness of that?
We talk about it pretty extensively. We haven't lost many guys, knock on wood. We think we have a really good product here, as I mentioned, from the academic side as well as the football level side, and hopefully the way we treat them and everything, they're comfortable here. But we have had a couple guys move on, and it's just the way of the world right now. So I'm not going to bury my head in the sand, but we are still predominantly a high school recruiting outfit. We signed 18 high school guys last year. Um, the grad transfers, the transfers that we've taken out of the portal, every one of them in the last 2 years have been grad transfers. So they've been guys that maybe were at a Patriot League school or an Ivy League school and didn't have a fifth or sixth year option to go back to their program. So they're looking to go somewhere, and they've been good fits for us academically. We haven't taken any undergrad transfers. Some of the guys that we've lost to the transfer portal, we've lost a sophomore corner this year and a sophomore D lineman the year before. But other than that, the guys that have gone on have been guys that have either, exhausted their eligibility and obviously they can't go in the portal, or guys that have had their degree already taken care of, so they've graduated from here. They've already had a job lined up, and due to COVID or something, they've had a final year of eligibility remaining and opted to not use it and basically retired from college football to go start their careers. So, but it is what it is. It's something that's a reality right now that we have to navigate through to the best of our ability, and that's probably the hardest thing I have to do right now as the head coach is roster management. It's been hard to figure out who is going to be here from one fall to the next, but like I said, we've been fortunate to hang on to most of our guys, and the guys we brought in have transitioned well from the programs they've come from and have helped us in some spots. Especially last year, we had a D lineman from Brown, a D line from Holy Cross, and they worked out well. So that's kind of been our approach to it. We've brought in 4 or 5 grad transfers each year, but primarily have been signing high school guys in the recruiting process.
You mentioned one fall to the next. The next season will be here sooner than we know it. What goals do you have for the upcoming season?
Goals, we're more process oriented than goal oriented. Our goals are always going to be the same. We want to graduate our student athletes. We want to have a winning season. We want to make it to the NCAA playoffs. We want to win a conference championship and ultimately win a national championship. So those are the goals that we always have in front of us. But the bottom line is we have to put in the work each day. So again, we talk more about the process of trying to get there. The goals hopefully will take care of themselves. And that's been our approach with our guys and within our program. So we try to get a little better every day, every play, and kind of go from there. But the goals have always been the same. We want to, like I said, it starts with a winning season, maybe a conference championship, NCAA playoffs, and hopefully have an opportunity to play for another national championship.
You mentioned the process. I'm sure the spring training that you guys have going on right now looks a lot different than the fall training. Can you kind of walk us through what a typical day of spring training looks like?
Yeah, we practice 3 days a week. It is a little different because we're not a large roster. There's a lot of teams that have a lot more guys, so they could probably do a little more from a live tackling and scrimmaging perspective. We do very little of that, unfortunately or fortunately, depends how you look at it. Sometimes the players like the fact that we're not going live. It keeps them a little more fresh and a little healthier over the long haul. But our roster is kind of limited. So we only we practice pretty much like a pro team would practice. We don't take people to the ground that often. We try to go out there and handle the fundamentals. Obviously, take care of the schemes and the things we want to introduce and all those things. But we also want to take care of each other. We want to compete, but we want to be able to be smart while we're doing it. So and preseason gets a little more aggressive, but not really that much. This is usually the time of year where you can do a little more live work, but we just don't have enough healthy bodies in the springtime to have 3 full scrimmages, end it with a spring game, and so on and so forth. So we kind of go out there and go through the drills, and we practice Tuesday, Thursday, Friday evening. We lift the other days and obviously watch film and take care of that on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we give our guys a lot of mental stuff that we do. Obviously, we get them in the weight room as much as we can, and the practices are relatively fast and short. So we don't keep them on their feet a whole lot. And, we try to get into the drills we need to get into without doing a ton of live work. That's kind of our approach right now. So, and it's been working for us for the last couple of years. We just try to keep our guys healthy while we're trying to get better and we're trying to compete. And some guys are trying to make their way up the depth chart. We graduate some guys, so there's some younger guys that do need a little more work, but you don't want to sacrifice or do it at the expense of some of the older, more experienced players. So it's a fine line. How physical can we be? How much work can we get in? How much work do we need? But we think we're doing a pretty good job right now, and our guys giving great effort out there on the field and in the weight room. So that's all you can ask. As long as the effort's there, I think we can get better.
The competition in the CAA gets better and better every year. How exciting for you to know that every week you're going to be challenged when the fall season comes around?
Yeah, we talk about that as coaches in our league all the time. I think it does get you prepared for maybe opportunity at postseason when you're playing the level of competition we play every week. Throw the records out the window when you're playing a CAA team. An 0-10 team going up against a 10-0 team. If that ever presents itself, you still better be ready to go out there and play a full 4 quarters. So, like I said, we think it's a great league, top to bottom. We love playing in that league and with the competition that we play, and then we'll challenge ourselves and play an FBS opponent every year. This year we have Maryland. But we think it does prepare you well for the opportunities if you're fortunate enough to get through that gauntlet and have an opportunity in postseason play. You're pretty well prepared for the postseason. So it's a league from top to bottom that you better be ready to play. And that's kind of always been our approach, and that's how we talk to our guys about it. And we only have 11 this year, 12 guaranteed contests. So you better be ready each and every week. And you know how that is. That's the hard part of getting your guys ready and motivated, regardless of who you're playing. And let's make sure we go out there and perform at the level that we're capable of. And that's always the challenge, and it's a big challenge when you're playing in the CAA.
Those were all the questions I had for you. If you want to add anything else about your team, your school, please go right ahead.
No, it's been like I said, what has kept me here for 37 years. It's the people at this place, from top to bottom. Father Peter, our president, Mark Jackson, our athletic director, all the people that support our program. Love working with the student athletes that we're able to attract here at Villanova, and our staff has been intact for a while. We haven't lost anybody on staff. I think in the last 3 or 4 years. The only reason we had to replace one guy 3 years ago is because he retired, and we had to replace him. Other than that, everybody on our staff has been with me for at least 5 seasons, and a lot of them have been with me for the whole 8 that I've been the head coach. So I said it at the top of this, and I'll say it again. Villanova has been great to me and my family. I love what I do as far as coaching collegiate football. I love where I do it at Villanova, and I love the people I do it with. So really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk to you all today. And, we hope we can continue to have a successful program, graduating complete student athletes, putting a good product on the football field. And then, like I said, getting these guys prepared for life after football, whether it be when they finish here or some of those guys have been fortunate enough to have an opportunity to play at the next level.